Yo, what is going on, you guys? Alejandro here, and welcome back to the episode of Magayon. In this episode, we're going to be building Magayon Boulevard, a boulevard that goes across the entire waterfront of the city and has amazing views when driving on it. And it's also part of the Waterfront redevelopment program, which aims to protect the city from floods while making it accessible to everybody, everything for that matter. So this is a highway actually, so as you can see, it's like dedicated, but it has lights on it because I'm thinking that this has been here for a very long time, that this used to be just a small highway, but it needed to be expanded as the city grew. But yeah, I'm thinking that people who want to go around the city would just prefer to use the expressway that I'm going to be building in a far away episode, I guess, once we have things in place. Or if you guys want to see it, why not? We have a lot of roads in the city, so moving around is not a problem. And we have bike lanes, as you can see there on the left. We have a lot of walkable areas, but this place is 100% only for the cars, and I wanted to make that. That's why I have demolished everything that you're seeing here and rebuilding it new. I'm just completely rebuilding it. I'm turning it into it just used to be just a single road, like one road, two-way road, but I decided to turn it into a highway by using actual highways, two separate roads that will move together, and I'm just gonna make custom intersections later on. But for this part, I decided to connect it into a single node by turning it into a single road and connecting them together and using node controller to clean up the look and move it, which are two amazing mods, removing all crossings here because nobody would want to be crossing on a highway. So that's that. Here we have one of the first intersections that I have. These are not very used that often because this road is mainly used for people going through the city, but whenever the occasion comes for people who want to enter it that are from the highway, they have a choice to do so. And this is quite a wide road, and I want to make it so, but I don't want to make it feel too big. You know what I mean? Later on the live play and or in the cinematics, you'd see what I mean. But for now, I'm just using node controller, segment and controller. I think you do this by clicking Alt on the segment that you're holding in. I'm not actually that. I don't know how. If you guys want to have a tutorial on this, Akuras already has a video on that. He has a lot of videos on that, and if you guys want to see how I do mine, hit me up in the comments because I might do one tutorial if you'd like. But yeah, I also decided on changing the color of the roads with I forgot the road tools. The mods are in the link down below if you guys want to see my mod collection. But this mod allows me to change the color of the roads, to change if I'd rather have what type of network skins. This is network skins. So I'm changing the color of the road and I'm removing all the markings on it so that I can customize it myself, which I love. You guys love also roads because analytically speaking, you guys love roads and I do also love roads. So whenever I get the chance to make roads, we gotta give everything to that. But here I'm reworking it because we went a little bit off, a little bit too much with the detailing because the frame rate here was so bad. I mean, the frame rate everywhere in the city is like so low, but here it was very, very choppy, but now it's a little less choppy. So yeah, I'm also adding in here, changing the landscaping a little bit and adding in these planters here. Now I'm taking inspiration from what do you call that? Marcos Boulevard? No, not Marcos Boulevard. Who would want that? We're taking inspiration from Rojas Boulevard in Manila, one of the most iconic boulevards in Manila. It used to be Dewey Boulevard, named after the person who so-called freed us from the Spanish, if you know what I mean, when we actually was fighting for it for like hundreds of years, and then the Americans just swooped in to, liberate us from the Spanish. But yeah, getting back into the video, I just put the planter there because there were planters on Ross Boulevard, so I wanted to incorporate more of what we actually have right now, because in this series I'm incorporating a little bit of not fantastical fiction with reality and blending it together to form something completely uniquely Magayon. Wow. Anyways, intersection marking tools. Now instead of turning this into a 3-lane road, I just decided to cover up one lane with grass and then just use lane connector from the traffic president manager edition. And this is just because the 3-lane roads for network extensions has a different width to it with the 4-lane one, so I just stuck with this one because it's a little bit cleaner. And here we have another one of those intersection type of knot. One side has a little bit more continuous flow, which is this one, the side moving to the east, while the western one has a lot more stops to it. But hey, the city is trying to move away from being too car dependent, as you may have seen from the previous episodes. When the series was starting, I really had no clue on what I was doing, but now it's clearer, and that's why we're doing this rework. And I'm using these procedural objects because this just makes it a little bit easier. Because props, I don't want the save game to have too many props on it. As you can see there, we have tons of props on that. On the previous episode, I actually reworked that place. This entire place has been reworked. This is supposed to have been episode 50, but making a rework on episode 50 of a road just didn't sound quite right. So I decided to just delay it for episode 51.2 or something. I don't want to do episode 52 because this is just me rebuilding a road. But yeah, I'm using intersection marking tools to make these line markings so that you can't move left and right, and this is like the space they have to stop, and this just adds that little bit of realism to it, a touch of realism that just makes it all look good. Now for here, as I've said, I am just connecting everything in place so that people would not use that road on the outer side, and also blocking people from crossing because you wouldn't want to have people in the highway. There's actually an expressway, but yeah, I'm gonna show you guys in the live play the entire thing that this encompasses. But for now, I'm just doing this thing. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be keeping this because people still tend to go straight through to it. I'm lacking traffic signs, like the signs on top of the road that show you guys which way you should go, which lane you should take to wherever you want to go. But yeah, here we're doing the western side of the boulevard because the center of the boulevard is located at the Central Park, which you may have seen been reworked in the last episode. And here it's the one that is located by the wall of the walled city, of course. And this used to follow the shoreline of the city a long time ago, but after the land reclamation, it's like in the middle of the port area. Now this port area right here, I have plans for this, so if you guys want to check out the port area build, hit me up in the comments. I actually have a poll, so if you guys want to vote on that poll, you have to subscribe, or if you've been watching the series, you might have came across it. But yeah, this one right here, I'm just using an 8-lane road, and this used to be bikeable, but I decided I'm just gonna put a dedicated bike lane here in the future. When we get into this place, I'd tackle it. I'm just gonna make it look aesthetic from afar and when you're driving through it, because I tend to leave a lot of things unfinished. So yeah, and this roundabout here is completely redone. I'm actually planning on redoing this maybe in the future. In the future, we're just keeping it looking gorgeous as it is. And the trees here, I was actually thinking on making it similar to Champs-Élysées in Paris with the box cut trees, but I decided that since this is like set in the near future, people would be more mindful of the weather and the shading that is here, and especially this is Southeast Asia. the amount of shade we need. We can get as much amount of shade we need to like cool down the place. But yeah, I guess that is that I have for you in this time lapse. I'm now going to be going into the live play, show you guys what this actually looks like in game. And welcome to the live play. This is now the road all done. I mean, this segment of the road. I'm not going to be doing any changes here no more. This entire place is done. And let me just move around a bit. Let me just move slowly so that the frame rate doesn't, it's not going to be jarring for anyone. But yeah, the frame rate here was immensely worse than it was before, but now it's like, with the amount of detail that it has, which is still high, it's pretty much bearable now. We still have a lot of things to fill in, but yeah, let's get back to the road. This road is located along the entire waterfront, as I've said. If I could just pan out just a second. Oh, I have a bit of fog. Anyways, never mind the fog, but I'm just gonna be showing a little bit of a wide view of Magayon. I mean, let's get closer a little bit because I think this is too far. This is the entire boulevard itself, like this entire segment right here on the right side of the river. This entire boulevard, that's that, and it has been here for such a long time, and it actually extends to here, but it turns into a highway, like a dedicated highway. I'm planning on fixing this intersection up next. It's a continuous flow intersection. And yeah, we have this like thing here. If I can just zoom in a little bit, this thing, it's done. These places are also done. And if we move a little bit here, this is the roundabout. This is going to be worked on once we get into this place, but I want to leave it as of now, like, you know, good enough so that when I look at it, I'm going to be like, oh, that's nice. This one is the square. This is where the boulevard turns into a highway. As you can see, it has 4 lanes on each side, and it's quite a wide road. And this road right here, this has one of the most viewed intersections that I have in my city. It's one of the most gorgeous as well. I mean, I really do love this, but I'm just not quite sure about this canal being here. I think I'd rather have it outside of the road so that people can actually access it. And this road is a little bit too much, like there's a lot of lanes here, but I think that's quite good for a road. But we already have an expressway here, and it's like we have a lot of roads leading into the same direction. We have 1, we have 2, we have another one here, and we have another one here, and this one goes directly into the National Stadium, the Olympic Village, which I haven't finished. This is the Olympic Village, by the way. This is where the athletes live, and this is where the Olympics is held, but we still are lacking immensely in the facilities. And this road just goes on straight through this thing right here. It just goes on and on and on. And we have these, as you can see, the further away we go from the city, the more the highways take in, because this is actually connecting all the other places in the city, and I want to keep that aspect to it as well, because I do love making roads and we have to balance things out. This is a trumpet interchange. I mean, this road, let's get back to the boulevard. This is connected directly to the old road that used to go here into the outskirts of the city to the west, and it just terminated this one-way road. I mean, one-lane road here, which people don't use that often, but they still do, because it has been replaced by this much larger, much wider highway, expressway here by the sea, so that you wouldn't have to make this like curves here. I need to make this a lot more curvier, but I think for like it has been a highway for so long, I think this makes enough sense. I also want to add a little bit of history of adding parts of it that used to be like, this used to turn sharper here or there in the history, and we actually have this other road that leads to the thing right here. I haven't been here in such a long time. It's nice to finally be back in the outskirts of Magayon. We have this place here which I plan to place on like the ancient town, like Angkor or something, because this place right here is, I think it's located in a fairly remote place from the city, which is like It's very foresty, it's very calm, it's very serene. And like Angkor Wat is located, I think, in also in the similar location in between two rivers, and I think this would just be a nice place to place something like that. It's the outskirt, it's westernmost town of the city. It's where the birthplace of the entire place is, or maybe it's an entire different place because the volcano is not that similar. The history of Thailand's capital Bangkok is like they had an epiphany that this capital would be in a place that is like super gorgeous, and I think the epiphany is that in the foot of the perfect cone volcano you'll find the seed for the future of your kingdom or something like that in the lore. A lot of amazing things in the lore. We have a lot of things in the outskirts that I am quite excited to build on. Here on the easternmost edge, I'm quite excited for this place because IRL there's a resort here, and I also want to make this place like as a resort place, and the only way to get here is like there's gonna be a road of course, but taking a boat from the city, from the hustle and bustle of the density of that city. Look at that central Magayon right there. Isn't that gorgeous? I can't wait to actually build other things up. And the bridge right there, imagine the white sand beach here. I'm gonna be placing the maybe somewhere here, something more secluded, but I want a place where people can view, like a lighthouse maybe. It's quite nice. It's amazing. We have a lot of things we still need to do. And speaking of still need to do, okay, let's pan out a little bit. I have distance fog enabled, and I just watched $2.20's video on like fog, you know, on like his latest video on like Patterson University, I guess, for Oceania, and he talked about this making the distance fog thing so that further things look further away, things further away look like they're further away. And yeah, I need with this, when you go down it's more detailed, and the volcano is like foggy, so it's like atmospheric density. So yeah, looking at Magayon from this place, it's just gorgeous. This view right here, we have that first downtown, and then their city expanded more or less eastwards, like high-rise wise. And since we're here, like episode 50 like should be something like quite special, and I just rebuilt that. That took a lot of time, but I haven't been actually able to finish the city tour. We actually ended with just this side. We didn't move to the other side, like the Olympic Village. And if you guys want me to tour in that place more, you can hit me up in the comments. But I've just asked you guys on a poll what I should do next, and the results are in. You guys decided that I will be building this area. Now this area right here, this is going to be what we're going to be dealing with in later episodes. I promise this is not what it's gonna look like. It's gonna look much better than that. But with the new DLC upcoming, with the new airport DLC, I think it's time that we should take into consideration where we're going to be placing the airport and the histories of the airport. Because some of you guys have said that in Makati, the Ayala Triangle, I guess, it used to be an old airport strip. Now I want to add something like that there as well. Maybe here on the outskirts, this used to be an airport strip. And then Naiya in the Philippines, we actually have the international airport on the side near here in SM right there. So I'm thinking of maybe placing the airport right here. Maybe it would be placed similar to this path right here. The main runway would be placed here and here, because we have this valley here and we have this empty space here. And I think I'm going to be doing some editing with the flight paths, but I think this valley here you can fly out east to west, and north to south you can fly through this part right here, which is actually where in Legazpi, which is this place, this is supposed to be Legazpi City. When you take your flight, it's like mostly like this way, and then you move around the volcano and you do this beautiful 360 around the volcano. Yeah, the airport I guess is going to be in a later episode, but I'm going to be doing the Ayala Triangle type of thing right there. I think that just adds a lot of history to the place. There's just so many things to do that sometimes I get overwhelmed, but your comments just make my day amazing. You remind me of what I have been doing these past few months. It's almost gonna be, I think, a year. Magayon is going to be a year old soon, and yeah, just look at this sunset view of the city. It's just amazing. Imagine when this is all finished up, this is just gonna be low density, and a lot of dense buildings on the sides, because we want to preserve the capital thing. Because yeah, this is another city, and I think I have quite succeeded so far. I have succeeded in my goals, and hopefully in the future we'll be able to continue on with actually achieving those goals. And I guess I should probably end this video here at the capital, the heart of Magayon. Next episode, we're going to be building this. We're going to be filling this place up, this triangle right here, North Triangle. I'm not sure what it, but I've actually started building it already. We have these two buildings, and we have a lot of administrative buildings there on the side. But let me just move away from that and focus on the capital as the sun is setting. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this part 2 of video. And making these videos take a lot of time and effort, from researching to building, recording, editing, and all that kind of stuff. And if you guys like this video and want to show your support to this channel, consider becoming a patron on patreon.com/Calejandro. And not only will you be helping us in continue this series, you'd also get exclusive content, like the saving of Magayon is now available to everybody there, which you can play around with this place. But the highest tiered ones can have the latest save that I have. I've already posted the latest save for this one. If you guys have any questions on how to handle that, how to install the save and how to play it, just DM me on Patreon or Instagram. That's a little segue to my Instagram page, Calejandro YT, where you get amazing photos, amazing stills from the city. And if you guys want to join contact me a little bit better with the community, join the community Discord. Why does it feel like the entire perspective of this place changed? Why does it feel like it's further away? Anyway, I just love this view here. If you haven't noticed, I get distracted so easily, and it's already going into night. I think that is a very nice segue. That's like the time is telling me oh, you have to stop speaking. You already made your point. If you guys want to support, Patreon, community, Discord, follow, pictures, Instagram. But if you can't, that's okay. You can still click like, subscribe, and comment down below what you want to see next. This is Calejandro, and good night. Bye!